Let's get ready to make some cucumber stew, Guyanese style. To the cucumber stew, I will be adding some chicken. So I had a chicken breast that I have sliced and cut into cubes, seasoned with some ground mustard. Yes, I said ground mustard, and some green seasoning. I went ahead and have my onions diced up, my red peppers and tomato and garlic. Now I'm gonna go ahead and peel my cucumbers. Now that the cucumber is peeled, I am going to cut it in half. The cucumber is cut in half. I am now going to de-seed the cucumber using a knife. Using a spoon. And it should look like this. Now we're going to slice it down the middle. Each piece, going to slice it down the middle. And we're going to dice it into little cubes. This is what you want to get. Little pieces like this. Let's get started. Now that the pan is nice and hot, I'm adding a little bit of oil. I'm using avocado oil. I add the onions and sweet pepper, and we're just going to simmer this on medium heat until the onions is translucent and the peppers is slightly cooked. Now that the onion and the pepper has cooked, we're going to go in with our chicken. And we're going to cook this for a few minutes. Now that the chicken no longer looks pink, we're going to add the garlic. Now we're going to add some tomato paste along with all our spices. Everything in there, that included the salt as well. We're going to give this a quick turn. Now that we incorporated all the spices and the tomato paste, everything has incorporated with the meat, with the chicken, we're going to add a little bit of water. Always keep a little bit of hot water on your stove when you're cooking. This is going to allow us to marry all the flavors together. This is what the water does. All the dry spices that we add, it's now incorporated with the tomato paste, making it more flavorful. Now I'm going to add in my tomatoes. Now that the tomatoes in there, we're going to move it around and we're going to let this simmer on low heat. What the tomato is going to do, it's also allow it to develop some gravy as it cooks down. The last thing that we're adding into the pot is the cucumbers. This is what it's looking like. The tomatoes are cooking, the chicken is cooking, everything is cooking together. Now we're gonna add the star of the show, the cucumbers. I went ahead and gave that a quick stir. Now I'm gonna help it out by adding a little bit of water. And I'm gonna go ahead and put in a bay leaf. We're going to let this simmer for a little while until the cucumbers are tender. I'm gonna let this simmer and I'll show you. I covered the pot and I have it on low heat. And we're going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes and we're gonna give it a nice check to make sure everything is cooking and the cucumber has developed its juices and it's tender. So this is after 5 minutes. I believe the cucumber still needs a little longer. But you see how much juice it has? But because I'm gonna let it cook a little while longer, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this. So far, it's only been the first time I add water. It was just like maybe a tablespoon to incorporate the seasonings and the spices. The second time that I add water, it was a quarter cup. Now I'm adding another quarter cup of water. We don't want to go in heavy-handed with the water because we don't want a runny stew. We want to enjoy every bite of this cucumber. We're gonna cover that again and let it simmer. I did give it a quick taste before I covered it. I'm gonna add a little bit more of green seasoning. I didn't put that in the beginning because I had seasoned the chicken with it. But I think it needs a little bit more after tasting it, and maybe another pinch of salt. Adding the lid back on there. We're gonna cook that for another 5 minutes and check on it again. Cucumbers have to be tender, not crunchy. So this is done. When you can take your spoon and go like this, and the cucumber is easily cut with the spoon, it's perfect. That's what you're looking for. This is such a refreshing stew. It has such a great flavor. You can pair this with anything. You can eat it with roti. You can eat it with some white rice, with some dal. Anything, however you want to eat this. You want to eat it just like that, go right ahead. This is so delicious. I hope you give it a try. And if you want the full recipe of the measurements and everything that I use, go to my YouTube channel. You will find the link in my bio. Thank you all for joining me. And I'm gonna go ahead and make some white rice and get this plated and enjoy myself. Don't forget to remove the bay leaf. It has done its job. Look at that. I wonder if you could smell this. It is delicious. You must give it a try. Cucumber stew made with chicken. My way. Bye-bye. Peace. One love.